And also there is another problem. If at all you have a desire to understand a scripture, you come and you go to a person to understand a scripture, and is that person illumined? No. So now you are learning or we are studying Katha Upanishad, I am discussing, have I got Brahmagyan? No. So that itself is another problem. What is it saying? It says, okay, we have in this Ashcharya wonderful teacher, and in Dakshinamurti Stotram, at the end of the Dakshinamurti Stotram, some people add this stotra also. Chitram vatataror mule vriddha shishya guru yuva. Gurostu maunam vyakhyanam shishyastu chinna samshayah. Vata means banyan tree. Chitram vatataro mule. The scene is this, that under the banyan tree you have vriddha shishya. The shishya, the disciple is old, and the guru is yuva, is young. Usually it is the opposite. Guru is old and shishya is young. But here there is a subtle reminder also here. The person who is old, why is he old? He is entangled in sense enjoyments and ignorance. And because of darkness, jara or old age also can be said to mean darkness or ignorance. So this person is engrossed, entangled in ignorance. So that is why the stotra says vriddha shishya, vriddha. And also because of sufferings, this person has been battered, suffering. Guru yuva, guru is always pristine, pure in the knowledge of Brahman. So yuva, young, with full of strength. Gurostu maunam vyakhyanam. So Guru does not speak. Maunam vyakhyanam. Guru keeps quiet. No need to speak. Just like Ramana Maharshi, just keep quiet. But Ramana Maharshi, if he kept quiet, people would get illumination. If we keep quiet, we will fall into sleep. That's what will happen. So anyway, Gurostu maunam vyakhyanam. Shishyastu chinna samshayaha. And all the doubts of the disciples are dispelled just by the silence of the Guru. So here words are not actually being communicated. Swami Vivekananda says spirituality is communicated person to person. A part of the teacher goes to the disciple. So here words are not important. What is important is the realization. And realization can be communicated without the help of any medium. So there is, earlier also I have told, there is some kind of initiation called Shambhavi Diksha, where they touch a part of the body and initiation is given. Sri Ramakrishna touched Swami Vivekananda, then Narendranath Datta, and everything was merging into one infinite.
But it requires the Shuddha.
Yes. So this is the banyan tree in botanical gardens of Howrah. How many of you seen it? All of you have seen it. It was bigger actually, but it got, there was some disease and then it has been cut.
The root is not formed.
And this is one example of Yuvash Guru and Vriddha Shishya. Of course, in his case, I think one person was older than him. In Sri Ramakrishna's case also, there were people who were older than Advaitanandaji. He was older. Na narena avarena prokta esha suvigneyo bahuda chintyamana ananya prokte gatiratra nasti aniyan hi atarkyam anupramana. Now the problem is very deeper. Even if we want to know about Brahman, if it is spoken of by a person who is inferior, who is not himself or herself knowledgeable of Brahman, Esha Prokta Avarena Narena. Avarena means an inferior person. Narena. Nahi subhigneya. It is not easy to understand. Subhigneya. It is not easy to understand. It becomes more confusing. Why? Because that person andeinaiva niyamana yatanda. That person himself does not know. So how can you teach us? You yourself do not know. So from tomorrow or next week onwards we are not coming because it's all waste of time. You also don't know, I also don't know. So instead of that we will maunam vyakyanam, we will sit in our rooms and meditate and find out for ourselves. Wonderful. Bahuda chintyamana. And why? Because it is bahuda chintyamana. It has been told, philosophizing about Brahman or the true reality. So many people have told about it in so many ways. Sankhya tells there is Prakriti, Purusha. There are so many things that this is Prakriti and Purusha, this thing. You have to understand that there is no difference. Then the knowledge is different. So then you have Nyaya. Then Vaisheshika says that everything is Anu, everything is atomic. So there are so many realities. There are multiple realities. There is no one reality like in Advaita Vedanta. Mimamsa says that there is Apurva. You do keep on doing sacrifices and then something will be, some bank deposit, some credit limit will be there and then you will attain to a great place in the heaven, etc. And Advaita Vedanta is one part of Vedanta. But Uttara Mimamsa is Vedanta. Purva Mimamsa is Mimamsa. So Advaita Vedanta is one part, but before that there is Dvaita. Dvaita says that Jiva and Paramatma is separate. And Vishishta Advaita is another. In Advaita Vedanta also things are very confusing. There are 10 schools of Advaita Vedanta, that is principal schools. Further if you go, there are totally 40 schools of Advaita Vedanta. So really, some person will say it is what? Veda, some people will say that this is because of Pratibimbavada. It's like a reflection of sun. Some people will say some other things. So basically there are two schools in Advaita Vedanta based on different commentaries on the Brahma Sutra. It's all very confusing. Yoga will say something. Yoga will say Samadhi. Final Samadhi is the ultimate destination. Nyaya will say something. Buddhist will say that Shunyavada. Okay. Incidentally, Shunyavada is something which is misunderstood by people. Shunya does not mean that void is the ultimate reality. Shunya means that this existence cannot be explained. Like in Advaita Vedanta they say Maya, it appears as though it is, it appears it's not there. So whether it is there or not there, we cannot say. So like that, in Buddhism they say Shunyavada means we can't posit an entity for this illusory existence. That is why Shunyavada. Shunyavada does not mean there is nothing. Some people wrongly interpret it like that. So but anyway, that is a new thing. Jains they talk about, so Buddhism, Jainism and Charvaka, these are all called Nastika Sampradaya. They don't believe in the Vedas. They don't believe in the Vedas. And there are 6 schools of philosophy, that is it should start with Sankhya. Sankhya Yoga. They are dual philosophy. Sankhya Yoga, Nyaya Vaisheshika, Purva Mimamsa, Uttara Mimamsa. Okay, you should remember like that. So 6 systems of philosophy who believe in Vedas. So much of confusion. Then suddenly one person will come, visited the planet Earth, stayed here from this to that. Anybody knows whom I am talking about? Nobody knows. Oh, somebody knows. So that person will have another philosophy, totally different philosophy. Tomorrow you can also have another philosophy. That's the beauty of India. You can have as many philosophies as possible. You have philosophies and further confusion. So what is reality? How do I know? So, nahi subhigneya. It is not at all easy to understand. Bahuda chintyamana. Why is it not easy to understand? Because it is told of, it is talked of, thought of in various ways. How can the same reality be multiple? If it is single, then how can it be multiple? If it is Advaita, how can it be Prakriti Purusha or Anu? It's not possible. So either one it has to be. But so many people talk of in so many terms. And then the Upanishad says, Ananya prokte atra na asti gatihi aniyan pramanat atarkyam. Ananya prokte, when spoken of by a non-different person, means non-different person. What does that mean? Can anyone tell me? Non-different person. Here the meaning of the word Ananya is non-different person. Why?
It is the same person. It is the same identity.
But here the meaning is little deeper. Non-different means a person who does not find any duality. A person who does not see any duality, who is established in the consciousness of non-duality, Advaita. So when told by a non-different person, Gatihi means, here Gatihi means cogitation, means thought. Na atra asti. Gatihi atra means with regard to Atman or self, our own self. Gatihi na asti. There is no other thought, no other cogitation, no other thinking. Why? Anupramanat aniyan atarkyam. Something which is subtler than anupramanat, than the atomic thing. So now what is the subatomic most?
Quark.
Nothing lower than that.
Not as yet.
Not as yet. So quark is the minutest subatomic particle.
Quark, electrons. Electrons also is subatomic.
What is this boson particle?
They are general class of particle.
Oh, the class. So, okay, so this quark or electron.
Electron, even, yeah, there are many particles, not one.
No, but what is the minutest? Is there any such?
There are many fundamental particles.
Okay. So, okay, whatever, the most fundamental particle, whatever it may
Not
be.
one, there are many of them.
Okay. So, the group of any one you take, the most fundamental, one fundamental
Electron
particle.
is one example.
Electron. Say electron, neutron, or whatever. Which is subtler than that. It's subtler than that. So, it is atarkyam. It cannot be argued about. Why? Why cannot it be argued about?
It has to be realized by experience, not by argument.
No, but here you see it's kind of giving us a rational explanation why it can't be argued about. Why? Because it's subtler than the most fundamental particle we know of. If you have to argue about it, you should argue it with reference to something else. But with what reference will you argue it with? Are you getting the point? Because it's the most fundamental particle. So you don't have any reference. So aniyan, anupramanat aniyan. It's subtler than the most subtler thing we know, subtlest thing we know. So that is why atarkyam, it cannot be argued about. Now here the Upanishad says that Bahuda Chintyamana, it has been talked of in various ways. And ironically, probably to give this point, Shankaracharya gives 4 types of commentaries for this mantra. He gives 4 different commentaries for this mantra. First he gives one commentary, then he says or, then he says this commentary, then he says or, then he says this commentary, then he says or. So he also does his part in confusing us. So anyway, we'll see other commentaries in the next week. Any questions? Wonderful. Ashcharya Labdha.
Though you have said that, when same-day person is not available, people are listening out. But this is the only part. You cannot avoid it. This is the part by which people know how. Like somebody knows what is IIT, then they try to know how to get into IIT. Then what?
What you told, the first part was okay, but the second part, because these are not comparable.
Let me complete. Now that who is interested for getting into IIT, they learn how to get into IIT, then they practice it and they get into IIT. Similarly, who is really has a mood, definitely he will.
No, that's what. That portion is okay, but that example cannot be put in this. What you are telling is correct, but this example will not hold, because as far as spiritual things are concerned, unlike material or empirical things, you cannot get help from a person who himself has not realized. You can get knowledge of physics from a person who has not come to IIT, or rather you can be trained by a bunch of people who have never seen IIT and get into IIT. That's
I am
possible.
learning physics from him. I am not learning IIT. I am learning physics from him. To get into IIT.
That's what.
If he does not know physics, I cannot learn physics from him.
Yes. So, but that does not hold good in this. So, what is that? Here, the thing which Yatishwaran used to say is, a person who is studying in MA can always teach BA. I am not claiming that I am studying MA or something. A person who is already in spiritual path can also tell that, see, I am suffering, why don't you also suffer? Like that, you can tell. Any questions? No questions.
Swami, here, what is the meaning of this line? When thought by one who has become identified with it, there is no further prejudice of regard. Book line actually.
What page?
46.
The self Ananya Prokte, when spoken of by a non-different man, by the teacher who does not see duality, who has become identified with the Brahman that is to be revealed. That's what I was saying. Ananya Prokte means a non-different person, means a person who has got identified with Brahman. Brahma Samstha, that is the word. One who is established in Brahma or Brahmalina. Clear? No. A person who has already realized Brahman? No. Realizing Brahman? A person who has already realized Brahman, if that person talks about Atman, it is clear. Now is it clear? So that is what Ananya Prokte means. Usually Ananya means same, but here it means same with Brahman. Actually, when spoken of by a non-different man, it is little difficult English. You just make it plain English. When a person who has realized Brahman speaks about Atman, it is understood clearly.
Swamiji, is it not correct that when realized person speaks, he cannot transfer the direct experience like Ramakrishna? But what happens that what he teaches is that the path, if that path is followed by other person, the other person also will.
That is why the Upanishads, Shastras will talk about 3 classes of Brahmagyanis, or people who have attained the knowledge of Brahman. This is not true that people who have attained the knowledge of Brahman cannot transmit that knowledge. They can. Depends on what kind of level they are. Brahma with, Brahma Varishta, Brahma with, like that, the 3 classifications. So Brahma Varishta means the top class knower of Brahman can, just by seeing or not even being present in front of that person, somewhere else that person will be, by just thought can give realization. So it depends. And also, as you said, a person can always talk about that and they can give. That is why Sri Ramakrishna's parable is there, that by faith, this parable of Pandit and milkmaid. So the milkmaid used to come to give milk to the Pandit, and for some days she was becoming late, so he asked what happened. So now it is rainy season and the river is overflowing, so I don't get boat, so it gets delayed, that's why I am coming late. Then what is this? You don't believe in God? You just take the name of God and cross the river. Nothing will happen. So this woman was a very simple woman, full of faith. Panditji ne kaha hai, so she just took the name of God and used to come regularly. So after a week, Pandit also thought that she is now coming regularly, correct time, in time. So she said, he asked, Acha, what happened? Is now the river back to normal state? No, Panditji, it is overflowing, but as you said. So Panditji said, oh, you are kidding me, like, don't make me a fool or something. How was it possible? Panditji was not believer himself. Said, no, please come with me, I will show. So while she was going back, she took the name of God and just walked on water. And Panditji was like wonderstruck and he was asking, what is this? So she said, come. And then he also came, but he just lifted his dhoti in case, just in case. So then the milkmaid smiled and asked, why you don't have faith? So this is the idea. Panditji gave this wisdom, but Panditji did not have faith himself. But the milkmaid adopted that wisdom and just believed in God. But she could achieve that. So Shastras are there. Anyone can read the Shastras. And they themselves have a power, because these are not written by fools. These were written by rishis, mantra drishta, seers of truth, seers of mantra. Like you have all these songs, no? They have their own power. Some person writes a song which makes no meaning in some Tamil movie, and it is translated into so many languages. And that Kumar Sanu's son also sings it. You knew what song I'm talking about. Everybody knows. I asked Gita shlokas, very few people could answer, but this immediately everybody. Yes, any question? No question. How many of you actually read this Upanishad afterwards? No time. समझ में नहीं आता.
Like if you read further slokas, just English you read, it doesn't make much sense. You explain it, it only makes sense.
But explanation doesn't make sense.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
No, reading the explanation doesn't make sense.
Huh?
Reading the explanation.
What is it?
How we read, it's a mechanical reading. Okay. Absorption is not.
Absorption.
I had a comment. Something that struck me. Like in Bhagavad Gita, Shri Krishna gets Arjuna asks questions and Shri Krishna gives the answers quite
Logically.
immediately. But here, Yama is taking a lot of time to get to the answer. There, in one sloka, immediately after that, he will give the answer. Krishna at least gives the answer very quickly. There are many questions, not one in the whole Bhagavad Gita. There are many questions asked by.
This answer is there in his
But Krishna gave 700.
As you put the question in the same mode, I can also answer. You see, here Nachiketa was sitting after 3 days and he was having food and relaxing. No, this is not the correct answer. And Yama also was in a relaxing mood. But there 2 armies were standing and they were caught between 2 armies. So urgency of the situation, please understand.
Another thing that it is Yama versus Krishna.
Huh?
That is Yama versus Krishna. So the answer is there in his question.
No, actually, Katha Upanishad talks about only a particular aspect of spiritual life or the knowledge part of it. Gita, whereas, has so many things in this span of 701 shlokas. So many things, you know, 4 yogas, there's so many things, it's packed. Katha Upanishad is only about what happens after death. So it's about Atman and all that, and that too in so many mantras. So here the pace is little relaxed. That is the real reason. And this is more a poetical way of putting it. Whereas in Bhagavad Gita, you have different chapters, and every chapter, Karma Yoga, there is one chapter which detailed analysis of Karma Yoga. So in one shloka, so much of information is put, so much of knowledge is put. Like Karmanyevadikaraste, or this you do work and still you be peaceful. Karmanya karma akarmaniya pashyat akarmani cha karmaya sabuddhiman manusheshu sakrishna karmakrit. Now this shloka is full of You can write volumes on this one shloka. So it is more in Sutrakar, aphorism, Bhagavad Gita, because so much of things are packed into it. Whereas Katha Upanishad talks about how to realize the self and what exactly is self about. It's very focused. That is like Brihadaranyaka Upanishad or Chandogya Upanishad and Katha Upanishad. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad is so vast because it talks about various, Chandogya Upanishad talks about various kinds of upasana to attain also material things in this world. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad talks about various kinds of sadhanas. So that's why they are bigger in volume. So it's just that, nothing else.
Sir, who wrote Bhagavad Gita? Sir, how Bhagavad Gita came to exist? Means who wrote Bhagavad Gita?
Bhagavad Gita is part of Mahabharata, and Mahabharata was written by Vyasa.
Look, but these are the things which came into picture when we assumed that Mahabharata actually must have happened in the past. If we do not assume this,
there is a very simple solution. You see, forget about that nothing happened. But Mahabharata text is available. Somebody has written that text. So the person has thought about it. That's all.
he's the person who has written the Mahabharata
Has thought about it.
and wrote the Bhagavad Gita also.
So are the words and teachings coming from Krishna or coming from the...
Words and teaching, are they coming from Krishna or coming from Vyasa? Again, you are talking about the historical personage of Krishna. Now Swami Vivekananda gives this answer. He says, we are not bothered whether Krishna was there or not. But a person thought these thoughts. So that person actually knew that. Somebody has actually thought Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, how can that person write? Whether it was Vyasa or Krishna or somebody. So that Mahabharata took place in the person's mind. And that wisdom was there in the person's mind. That's why that person could write. So we are not bothered. Actually in Hinduism or in Sanatana Dharma, we are not bothered about historical personages. Even if Krishna was not there, Swami Vivekananda says this, even if Krishna is not there, remove Krishna, we have no problem. Remove Rama, we have no problem.
Gita is still
Huh?
there. Bhagavad Gita is still there.
Yeah, you remove Bhagavad Gita also, we have no problem. You remove Mahabharata, we have no problem. Remove Ramayana, we have no problem. Remove everything, you have no problem. Even if you have only one Om, we have no problem. Mahatma Gandhi said that if you remove all the Upanishads and only one line stays, Isha Vasya Midam Sarvam, that is sufficient. Sanatana Dharma is there. So the idea is, this mass of principles is based on principles, not on a personality. Unlike Buddhism. Remove Buddha, where is Buddhism? Christianity. Remove Jesus Christ, where is Christianity? Remove Prophet Muhammad, where is Islam? But this is not like that. Not like that. And also, I think Judaism also, you don't have any personality. You remove everything, but Judaism remains. Any other question?
In this Hinduism, the so-called philosophical base is very strong.
The philosophical base is strong, but the point is it is not linked to any historical personality.
Actually, you try to find a historic personality and then create more confusion. That should be.
It's all principles. It's all principles. You have the principles and it is in place. So Krishna, whether Krishna, Swamiji actually answers this question. He says, whether Krishna was not there or there, we don't need. But a person has thought about this and written it. That's all. Harry Potter was there or not, we don't know. Do we know? Or this Hobbit was there or not, we don't know. But a person could actually conceive 14 languages. This is a wonderful intellect. Some people, Times has voted it as, Time magazine has voted it as the best book of the millennium. Lord of the Rings. Because this person could actually think of 14 or 16 languages. Create words, scripts, songs out of nothing. So it's just imagination, Tolkien. So in Tolkien's brain, Hobbit is there, means Hobbit is there. And from the Advaita perspective also, you see, all the world is just from our brain only. It's a figment of imagination. Strong Advaita will say. How many of you have studied Mandukya Karika? Not even just by accident. So Mandukya Karika is, everything is just because you think it exists, otherwise it is not. Krishna would have been there, Mahabharata, somebody has written, at least in their brain it was there. Any questions? So that is why all this discussion about Ramayana and Mahabharata becoming imaginary text, we have no problem. Make it imaginary. But they are so powerful texts that, you see, understand this. There was a study conducted as part of a research program many years, some 15 years back, no more than that, 20 years back. And they found out that Bible is the most widely circulated book in the world, at least the religious book. And of course it is the book. And what is the next book? Gita. But the only difference is, there is so much of propaganda and institutional effort in circulating the Bible. Whereas Gita has been circulated with no such effort. Apart from probably Gita Press Kharagpur or Chinmaya Mission. I don't know of any other organization who have taken an effort to distribute Gita. But okay, but not so much like Gita Press Kharagpur and Chinmaya Mission. But even if ISKCON also, ISKCON, Chinmaya Mission, Gita, but not on that scale like Bible, definitely not. You have so many societies and they just give free. Like when we were in school, we used to get so many New Testaments free. So yes.
And they do it in a very interesting way. They say that there is a lot of similarity between.
No, whatever. Christianity is a wonderful
Christ
religion.
and Krishna.
Christianity is a wonderful religion, so they do it and etc. But the idea is, it is most translated in all languages, but it has been done institutionally. Gita is also most translated automatically. See, so it shows the power of the text. So even if Krishna dies, Mahabharata, every other month there is a new book coming on Mahabharata. Somebody is writing Mahabharata, retelling Mahabharata, re-retelling Mahabharata. People are making theatre. Peter Brook, he made a huge thing on Mahabharata. Shashi Tharoor wrote a great Indian novel, Mahabharata. You have this Prakash Jha making a film, Rajniti, Mahabharata. Where is not Mahabharata? Mahabharata is all over. Ashok Banker going on writing on Mahabharata. So hot selling books. So you cannot just wish away these texts. These are there in the psyche. So as long as humankind will be there, these texts will be there. Whether Krishna was there or not, who cares? Really. Any questions? Thank you. go Vaikuntha Loka, please send us the mobile number. We will talk to you. You know this joke about the local connection, no? Huh? Very old joke. So Pope went across the everywhere, and Pope has to talk with God. That is what his job is. So he went to America, and then he wanted to talk with God. So he went to a church, and there was a golden phone, and he called, and it was like $10,000. He said, why? Then he said that he was told that it is a long distance call, international call. Then he went to Britain, and same thing happened. Why? Because it is a satellite call or something. Then he came to India, and he said that I want to talk to God. Nobody even bothered. He said, okay, I do. Then I said, what? He said, it is intercom. So okay, thank you. So, do you actually go through Katha Upanishad before coming here? No. I suggest that you can have a copy of the text, and it is available, and you can just go through, because we will be getting into the mantra. Today I wanted, but somehow I could not. Next week I will surely get into that and cover some mantras of Katha Upanishad. Thank you.